today is a national day of action in support of the movement that started here at Garfield High School, but certainly hasn't ended at Garfield. This movement for quality assessment, this movement to get rid of a flawed assessment, the MAP test, began here at Garfield High School, but it has spread to Orca, it has spread to Chief South, it has spread to the Center School, it has spread to Ballard, and now it has spread across the country as we're getting messages flooding in of support from all over the nation. Today we heard that Berkeley, California Federation of Teachers will be holding a lunchtime rally to speak out at Berkeley High School in support of teachers against flawed testing. We heard that in Chicago. All right. We have heard that in Chicago, more than a score will be petitioning at 30 different schools against flawed testing and in support of Garfield High School. We heard that in Denton, Texas, they're rallying for Garfield. Los Angeles, California, teachers at the UTLA area meeting will be wearing red for education and in solidarity with the MAP test boycotters. In Portland, Oregon, the Students Union of Portland, Oregon is holding a press conference to speak out against their own flawed test and in solidarity with the MAP test boycotters. On the East Coast in Rochester, New York, they're rallying for Garfield High School. Supporters will be leafleting the Rochester State of the Schools address and speaking out in support of our movement. At Chief South High School, there's a rally going on right now. And we have gathered here, the educators at Garfield High School, to make this a clear message. You can try to implement the MAP test here at Garfield, but if it's wrong for students, it won't happen. So we want to say thank you to all of our supporters around the country, and we have a couple of statements that have been sent in. There's far too many to read here today, but we have some really important statements we'd like to share with you, and we'd also, Phil, if you have words from PTA, we'd love. The last thing I want to say is that this movement at Garfield High School is a unanimous movement. We've had a unanimous vote of the Garfield High School teachers for the MAP test boycott. We had a unanimous vote of the PTSA board, and we had a unanimous vote of the Associated Student Body Government, and so Garfield speaks with one voice today, and that voice is being heard around the nation. No, scrap the MAP. All right. Language arts teacher Adam Gish has a particularly important solidarity message to share with you.
And this is from Dr. John W. Carlos, the 1968 Olympic gold medalist who raised his hand in protest. He writes, "Without question or hesitation, I stand with the teachers, students, and parents of Garfield High School as they resist these unjust, soul-crushing standardized tests. This is not a Garfield issue. It's a discussion in every public high school across the United States. We should all applaud and raise our fists for the people at Garfield and remember them forever as the first to stand up."
This is a personal message from actor Matt Damon and early childhood educator Nancy Carlson-Page, addressed to the teachers of Garfield High. We are writing to support all of the teachers at Garfield High School. We admire your strong and unified stand against the district-mandated standardized test. Teachers, students, and parents do not have to accept practices that are harmful to them and to the whole meaning and purpose of education. We know it takes courage to risk your jobs in order to stand for what you know is right. Your example holds the promise of inspiring teachers in school districts all over the country to take similar action. Thank you for your strength and courage. We admire you and are behind you all the way. Nancy Carlson-Page and Matt Damon.
All right. Next, I'd like to introduce Phil Sherburne, who is the president of the Garfield High School PTSA.
Thank you, Jesse. We just want people to know that the parents stand firmly with the teachers on this issue. We really don't believe that the time of our kids or the teachers ought to be wasted taking a test that really isn't helping anyone. So we're sorry that Superintendent Banda has decided to pursue the test. We think that's a mistake. We hope that we get on with the business of looking for the kind of standardized testing that is going to help kids, that's going to be fair to the teachers in terms of their performance evaluations. So we're happy to see this kind of support to make these changes, and we're going to be standing behind the teachers each step of the way as we try to improve the system. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So this movement is just beginning. It's going to spread to school to school to school as more and more staff decide they want quality assessment. We are so happy to have so many supporters from around the city and around the nation. And one of our supporters is here with us. Our last speaker is going to be the president of the Seattle-King County NAACP, the oldest civil rights organization in America. We are so glad they're here standing with us today. James Biden.
Please give me a moment to catch my breath. I had to run up a few steps and a little bit of ways over from a parking lot from another school that is doing things that are very important here today. Okay, here we go. We hold these truths to be self-evident in the city of Seattle, that we want education that is meaningful. We hold these truths to be self-evident in the city of Seattle, that we want to learn how our kids are actually thinking rather than checking a box. We hold these truths to be self-evident in the city of Seattle, that at the moment that we see inequity in education, at the moment when we see failures in education because we're focused more on tests and actually teaching our children, we all take a stand. This stand here today is not only linked to the teachers, it's linked to the students that have made decisions in relation to this particular test. This is no more than just a civics lesson. This is actual civic action. The teachers and the students are recognizing that they have control over their education and how they are taught. And at the very least, this particular district can decide to table this test. To table this test. To support the students. To support the teachers. To support those that know that education is based on individual action with your students and not how well they bubble in a C or an A or a B or check a box. We ask for more today. We stand for more today. We will stand with every teacher, every student, everybody that makes that decision that they expect more of their education than what is being delivered through standardized testing. And I think that we should be clear. When I say standardized testing, I don't just mean the test itself, I mean standardized answers. Why would we ever have a test that says you can either choose A, B, C, D, or E without explanation? Because it's only through actual explanation that the teacher can say, okay, we have an understanding of exactly what your thought process is, and then be in a place where, gee, perhaps this student is onto something that's entirely new and we can learn from them. Or perhaps we can show them where their particular thinking error is. We have had a several-year-long failure in the city of Seattle because we have relied on standardized testing rather than relying on the direct service providers, which are the teachers. And our message to the superintendent here today, and when I say our, I mean the NAACPs, is if you are seeking a focus group, you do not need to pay people $100,000 or more from places that are not from here, from people that don't actually teach children. The focus group has spoken. It's the teachers, it's the principals, it's the students. The focus group has spoken. It's spoken. The teachers that are taking stands here today and the students that are taking stands as well are standing for some teachers, students, and administrators that do not feel like they are in a place to make the same exact stand. We all know that teachers are way overworked and remarkably underpaid, and this issue on so many levels for so many people is in a lot of ways linked to fear about what happens if they do stand up. And we can't pretend that that's not true too. And that's especially why, with every teacher and every child that stands up and is willing to accept that risk, we embrace them because we know they actually care about our children. Thank you.